Life and Teaching of the Masters of the Far East. Volume 1, Chapter 13. We prepared to return to the village where we had left my associates. I found that Emil and Jast wished to go to another small village, located in the valley about 30 miles from where our trail left the valley trail. I suggested that they go, and I accompany them. We camped that night at a sheepherder's lodge, and were up and started early next morning in order to reach our destination before dark the next day, as we were walking. We were not able to use horses on the trip to the temple, and so had left them at the village. About 10 o'clock that morning there came on a heavy electric storm, and it looked as if there would be a downpour, but no rain fell. The country through which we were passing was quite heavily thick, dry grass. The country seemed exceptionally dry. The lightning ignited the grass in a number of places, and before we knew it, we were virtually surrounded by a forest fire. In a few moments, this fire was raging like mad, and closing in upon us from three sides, with the swiftness of an express train. The smoke was settling down in thick clouds, and I became bewildered and panic-stricken. Emil and Jast seemed cool and collected, and this reassured me somewhat. They said, "There are two ways of escape. One is to try to get to the next creek, where there is water flowing through a deep canyon. If we can reach this canyon, which is about 5 miles away, we can in all probability make ourselves safe until the fire has burned itself out. The other way is to go on through the fire with us if you can trust us to take you through." Instantly, all fear left me as I realized that these men had proved true in all emergencies. Throwing myself, as it were, wholly upon their protection, I stepped between them, and we proceeded on our way, which seemed to be in the direction the fire was raging the most. Then immediately it seemed as if a great archway opened before us, and we went on directly through that fire, without the least inconvenience, either from smoke or heat, or from the burning brands strewn along the trail under our feet. There were at least 6 miles of this fire-swept area that we passed through. It seemed to me as if we were as calmly walking along that trail as though there were no fire raging around. This went on until we crossed a small stream and then were out of the fire. While we were going through the fire, Emil said to me, "Can you not see how easy it is to use God's higher law to replace a lower one when you really need the higher? We have now raised the vibrations of our bodies to a higher vibration than that of the fire, and the fire does not harm us. If senses mortal could see us now, they would think we had disappeared, when in reality our identity is as it has always been. In reality we actually see no difference. It is the concept of the mortal senses that loses contact with us. Could they see us as we are? No doubt they would think we had ascended. In reality, that is what happens. We do ascend to a plane of consciousness where the mortal does lose contact with us. All can do the same as we are doing. We are using a law given us by the Father to use. We are able to use this law to convey our bodies through any space. This is the law we are using when you see us appear and disappear, or as you call it, annihilate space. We simply overcome difficulties by raising our consciousness above them, and in this way we are able to overcome or to come up over all limitations that man in mortal consciousness has placed upon himself. To me it had seemed as if we were going over the ground with our feet just touching it. When we were safe across the stream, out of the fire, my first impression was that I had awakened from a deep sleep and had dreamed this, but I gradually awoke to the realization of it all, and the real meaning of it began to dawn upon my consciousness. We found a shady place on the bank of the stream, ate our lunch, and rested for an hour, then went on to the village.